Yes, the stadium where England played Brazil in 1970. Now it's Northern Ireland's turn, and this is the match that the Irish players have been looking forward to so eagerly since the World Cup draw was made last December. They've never met Brazil in a full international before, and they're hoping to repeat that miracle of Valencia in the last World Cup when they upset the odds by beating Spain and going on to the second stage. Lovely atmosphere. It's hot and humid again, but perhaps not quite as stifling as it has been in Guadalajara for one or two of the previous matches. And the team news, as far as Northern Ireland are concerned, is mainly that 21-year-old David Campbell, the Nottingham Forest forward, who actually had his 21st birthday earlier on this trip, has been selected in the starting lineup. Billy Bingham has made two changes, in fact. He's brought in Campbell and Ian Stewart for Nigel Worthington and Steve Penny. As far as Brazil are concerned, they too have a player making his debut. You may get a shot of George Courtney, our own English referee, who's on the line today. But the Brazilian making his first appearance is, that's Julio Cesar, the number 14. But the Brazilian making his first appearance is the right-back Josimar, who will be wearing number 13. Now, he's come in because of an injury to Edson, the previous right-back. And in fact, he's really third choice because Leandro was ruled out after a disagreement before the competition even started. So that's the team news. The Brazilian supporters, again, presenting a colourful spectacle in this most imposing stadium. And it really is, Jimmy Hill, quite an occasion, apart from anything else, for these Northern Ireland players.
It is indeed, and the atmosphere is really more like a bullfight, if I can make a comparison, than the sort of atmosphere we experience at football matches back home. The excitement, the drums are beating, it really is something very, very special indeed. They love their football, and there's one man, of course, who is soaking up that atmosphere today is Pat Jennings, and if ever he needed a clean sheet, and he's had a few in his time, today is that day, and we wish him well. The great advantage is that Ireland don't have to go for a win. I know Billy Bingham is a very thorough man in all aspects of life, and he will have established a method for holding Brazil and keeping them at bay. They can, if they can get that draw, they know that they're through into the final round. And so that gives them some kind of psychological advantage over the Brazilians, who also, of course, don't need to win to get through. But nevertheless, they need everything at their disposal today. Good discipline, hard running, a touch of the luck of the Irish, and some of that magic from the past.
One other change in the Brazilian lineup is that the number 7, Muller, who we've seen come on as a substitute in previous games, very fast. He's starting the match in preference to Casagrande today. And they have Zico, once again, among the substitutes. So, as the song says, come on, Northern Ireland. They're playing from right to left in the first half. This is Josimar. Julio Cesar to Junior and the inevitable Socrates, number 18, who will be strolling around in the midfield. David McCreary goes to him straight away. Alemão. Ian Stewart started on the left wing for Northern Ireland. They've only got Colin Clark as an out-and-out striker. Even Whiteside's going to come from a deeper position today. Junior. To Josimar. Julio Cesar. Socrates. Alemão. Junior. Socrates. Edinho coming from the back. Alemão. Careca's in the centre forward position. This is Muller. Foul by Donaghy. First moment of truth for Northern Ireland. And Edinho, the number 4 and captain, has gone up into the penalty area. Junior will take the kick. Charge down. Muller. So what an occasion on his 41st birthday for Pat, who celebrated his 21st birthday in Mexico when he was playing for Spurs in the Azteca Stadium. Good long kick too. Colin Clark, but finally Edinho. And here's Julio Cesar to Josimar. Alemão. Muller. Brazil hoping that his pace will worry the Irish, but Billy Bingham well aware of that threat. This is Junior. The fullback on the far side is Branco, who likes to get forward. Campbell has gone back with him. Socrates. Julio Cesar, Alemão and Josimar, the same triangle on the right for Brazil. Muller. Brazil have not played particularly well in their first 2 matches. They've won them both by the only goal, but their supporters, and indeed the journalists and the media men who can be so critical in the Brazilian camp, have been giving them quite a bit of bad press. That was Clark, and he's won a free kick there against Edinho. And Sammy McIlroy standing there with Norman Whiteside. Ian Stewart has gone across to join them. Whiteside's made a little run forward. McIlroy chips the ball in. Big McDonald is forward. And so too was John O'Neill, but that's a goal kick. Referee from East Germany, Siegfried Kirschen, 42 years old. And this is Elzo. Careca coming deep. Muller, good interception by Maldonaghy. Elzo again, Junior, Careca, flattened by John O'Neill. Alemão for Brazil. Socrates tries to chip Muller in behind Donaghy. Ian Stewart, Josimar, Julio Cesar, Junior, Socrates, Elzo, Stewart for Northern Ireland. Clark's made a run up front, but Stewart couldn't get away. Socrates, Muller, foul by Donaghy. Junior will take the kick, and he's chipped it too far for Careca. I've been very disappointed in Brazil's set plays in the 3 matches, or 2 and a bit matches we've seen. Jimmy Nicol. Trouble is, for Brazil, they're always compared with the great teams of old. Here's McIlroy. Norman Whiteside. Stewart. And that's a foul by Josimar. So Northern Ireland have a free kick. John O'Neill has made his way forward. Stewart. And Clark got ahead to it. Didn't fall back for McDonald, but it might again here for Clark. And Colin Clark from Bournemouth, who scored against Spain, got a shot in there from an angle.
Well, a bright start for Ireland. For first off, I thought the Brazilians had brought their own ball. They were no question about giving it away to the Irish. I've never seen such a long passing movement, but that could be a tactic. They know the Irish are going to mark man for man and chase and harass them, as you can see them doing now. And I think they thought we might take some of the sting out of it if we run them around a little bit and keep possession of the ball. But foxy play at the moment. It is a treat to watch their technique of keeping possession. That's on account of good positional play, backing up all the while, just sliding the ball around. There's always a man available. That doesn't mean to say that you can break through. That kind of thing has to happen at some point.
That was a foul. Some pretty faces in the crowd again. That was a foul by Nicolon Junior. This is Branco. Junior again, trying to find Muller. That's Donaghy. And now Josimar. Plays for Botafogo. Alimão. The more defensive midfield player is 19 there, Elzo. This is Edinho. Bit short for Junior. Alimão again. Junior. Careca. Socrates. Little back heel, Careca. Good tackle on the edge of the area by Alan McDonald at Queen's Park Rangers. We went to a reception given by the ambassador last night with the Irish lads, and there was no question at all that they're thrilled to be on the same pitch as people like Socrates. Jimmy Nicholl. Clark. Alimão. Muller. Socrates. I think he backheels the ball more often than he plays the normal pass. Junior. This is Branco. Elzo. Alimão. Looks for Muller. Back to Josimar. Away by Donaghy. Just Clark there again as the lone striker, waiting for support from behind him. It's the way Billy Bingham has chosen to play today. Been playing nearly 10 minutes. No score. Socrates for Brazil. Junior. Now Alimão. Socrates. Stewart with the challenge. Josimar. Muller. Fouled by Donaghy. That's the third one. Nil-nil in both games. Alimão with the cross. Don't forget that Northern Ireland ideally want to see Algeria beaten by Spain. Then a draw for Northern Ireland would be enough. Branco. Oh, he's given it away. Colin Clark. Nicholl. Pat Jennings' 119th international appearance for Northern Ireland. An all-time world record. What a thrill too for David Campbell there on the far side for Nottingham Forest. Only been on once as a sub prior to this for Northern Ireland. Takes the throw, finds Clark. He's also backing him up. And so too was McIlroy.
One of the features of the rarefied air here is if you do hit it badly, the ball just won't come down, and it makes an over-the-top shot look really disgraceful like that. You ever seen a shot go as high over the crossbar in your life? I'm afraid that's local conditions, but it wasn't a very good one in any atmosphere.
Muller's going in here, and Pat Jennings makes his first save. And Muller got away from McDonald, and there was an opening for Brazil, but Jennings' angles were absolutely right, and I've seen him trap the ball under his legs like that many times. Stewart for the Irish. McIlroy just inside. Foul by Elzo. Now, McIlroy and Whiteside directing operations here. The Brazilians being encouraged to retreat the 10 yards, and as they do so, O'Neill has gone up and so has McDonald. Clark is in there too, of course. Into the wall and away. The three big men have got to get back now, or two of them anyway. Correca. Muller. Deliberate handball by Mal Donaghy. That is a bookable offence. Yellow card for Donaghy. Brazil had got a clean break on there when that happened. And they have a couple of players who we've seen already who can strike from here. Junior is one. Julio Cesar is another. And that wall's important. The debate going on. Socrates pushes it. Oh, it didn't work. Alamau was supposed to play it back to Junior. Julio Cesar. Branco, the left back with the shot. Made to look easy by Pat Jennings. Mal Donaghy, who had the misfortune to be sent off when Northern Ireland beat Spain 4 years ago, now finds himself on a caution.
And bear in mind, John, that he's already been cautioned twice for tackles. So he really is in a dangerous position here, which is not a good thing for Northern Ireland. I mean, I'm sure we both support the decision the referee made in giving the yellow card for pulling the ball down deliberately, because it did destroy a beautiful move. But on the other hand, it makes it extremely dicey for them now with Donaghy in that position.
Absolutely. There are also 4 other Northern Ireland players who've collected yellow cards earlier in the competition, although only 2 of those are actually starting the match. And Josimar finds himself in the centre-forward position. Elzo to Alimau. Josimar again. This is Muller. Correca. What a good strike. Jennings. Well, it was close to him, but he couldn't stop it. Correca, the scorer. The man whose goal defeated Algeria has put Brazil ahead after 15 minutes against Northern Ireland.
I'm quite sure there that Donaghy was influenced by the yellow card, because if you notice, he stood off and allowed Muller to get that cross in. And that was the significant thing. There were 2 players there, Stewart as well, I think, but he let him do the tackling, and he was able to cross the ball past 2 players.
Well, this group is going the way of the favourites. Brazil lead Northern Ireland 1-0, and Spain lead Algeria 1-0. And Socrates, an offside surely on the far side against Branco, who'd come through from left back. Well, I've seen all Brazil's matches, and Correca is the player who's impressed me most. He's an unselfish centre-forward, but as you saw there, he's also a dangerous finisher. He was the only man in the box, actually, when the cross came in for Brazil. Donaghy. Whiteside. So Northern Ireland asked now to come from behind. Muller, by the way, was injured in the build-up to that goal, the number 7, and is still receiving attention off the pitch. Brazil are down to 10 men. This is McElroy. And a free kick to Northern Ireland. Ian Stewart was the player who went down. They'll be looking for Clark, O'Neill or McDonald. Header out was by Elzo. Brazil still down to 10. Stewart feeds the ball in offside, surely, against O'Neill. So not the start that the Irish were looking for, but a well-taken goal. Alamau. Elzo. Branco. And Socrates. Junior. Offside flag was up anyway. And out of your picture, that's Junior, but out of your picture, Muller, the number 7, is still receiving extended treatment from the medical men on the near side of the pitch to the left of Donaghy there. He was the man that helped to make the goal, but he was injured in the process. Edinho. Alamau. You can just see Muller on the front of your picture, actually, trying to get back on. Whiteside to Stewart. He appears to have recovered. McElroy for Northern Ireland. McCreary. Donaghy. And the covering defender, Julio Cesar. And Socrates is being marked by McCreary. Alamau. Junior. Socrates. Branco, the left-back's made a dangerous run inside an opponent. This could be the second one. Well played. There was a bit of a push, actually, as well by Branco there. He made an awful lot of ground. What about the goal, Jimmy Hill?
Well, it was most unfortunate. Here we see the replay of that. Well defended there, because they do play the ball inside the right defender, whoever that may be, for those runs from Branco. Beautifully timed run that, and well defended. But it was a silly goal to give away, really, but I still feel it's a result of that yellow card, because Donaghy, instead of closing, backed off. Stewart came to help him, and I think the ball went through their feet on the cross, but they shouldn't have allowed such a cross from that position with two players out on Muller to be able to stop him.
Foul there. Whiteside was impeded. Northern Ireland are pushing O'Neill and McDonald forward at every opportunity to try and get this diagonal ball in. Clark is nearer to the kicker. But they won't find any of them like that. No height on the ball at all from Sammy McElroy. And Muller with Donaghy again. Brazil have clearly decided to attack down this right-hand side with Muller and let the left-back Branco use the space on the left. Careca, the scorer. Alamau. Bit short, but here's Elzo. Muller, and Donaghy wins this one. Looks for Clark. Now he wants the support from midfield. Otherwise, he must go alone. Edinho. And there's some space here for Brazil. Careca. Well covered by young David Campbell. "22 minutes gone. Brazil 1, Northern Ireland 0 in the Jalisco Stadium in Guadalajara. Nickel. McDonald. McCreary to McDonald again. Josimar. And if they give the ball away, they'll find 3 Brazilians attacking them straight away. Alamao. Donaghy's tackle, corner. Junior to take it. Muller close to the near post. Edinho waiting to come in. Jennings punches clear from Edinho. Alamao. Elzo. Josimar. Socrates. Branco. Alamao. Clark. McElroy. Stewart. Looks for Clark coming in from the far side. And Carlos, at the expense of a corner, just doing enough. Campbell has gone across to take it. And again, we've got MacDonald, number 5, and O'Neill, number 4, in the penalty area. O'Neill stretching with 2 Brazilians and being accused of pushing, but the advantage is played. Through ball by Careca, looking for Muller. Jimmy Nicol having to cover, but Jennings anyway is there to collect and to find Campbell. Clark with Edinho. Socrates was a bit lazy there. This is Clark. From McElroy's pass, Whiteside coming in now, and Josimar able to turn. There are so many gold shirts there, just about 15 yards away from each other, waiting for a quick short pass. This is Careca. Socrates. Muller. Careca. And now McElroy for the Irish. Campbell. Nicol. Campbell again. McElroy. MacDonald to McCreary. O'Neill. Nicol looking for Clark. Edinho is the defender behind him. Nicol joins the attack again. Campbell. Header out was by Alamao to Careca. And Socrates now on the right wing. There's going to be a substitution here because Muller has not recovered from the injury which he sustained in making the goal. So already we have Casagrande back on. That's the reverse of the substitution the Brazilians have made in their first 2 matches. The latest score then in Monterrey is the same as it is here in Guadalajara. Spain 1, Algeria 0, Brazil 1, Northern Ireland 0. And if it stayed like that in both matches, then neither Northern Ireland nor Algeria could qualify, not on 1 point. Might mean Bulgaria going through. So complicated, this tournament. Here's Campbell. Oh, he's done well. Whiteside's in the middle, and Campbell forces a corner off Elzo. And up goes McDonald with the goalkeeper. Elzo cleared.
Not a copybook punch, that, from Carlos, and if there is hope for Northern Ireland, maybe it's in his performance. He panicked and gave away a corner just now when the ball was in the air, and this type of cross that we hope's coming over now is the thing that might do
Campbell's
it.
cross, and Whiteside goes in. Stewart.
No, goalkeepers out here, even the German goalkeepers, sometimes have a tendency to punch down, which I think is extremely dangerous. You want an up and away kind of punch to give the defenders time to recover and keep the ball in the air.
Junior, Casagrande, and Jimmy Nicol gets a tackle in. It'll also be interesting to see how the substitute... There's an unusual supporter for you. How the substitution affects Brazil's tactics, because they were very dependent on Muller in the way they planned this game. This is Elzo to Alemão. Mind you, Casagrande's got a point to prove anyway. Alemão. That was McElroy in the way. Now it's Branco, the left back. Careca. Elzo. Still Elzo. And this might even find Socrates. Oh, they were really a little lax there. And Casagrande got the shot in. I think the Irish thought the ball was going out.
One of the features of the crossing here, which we've admired, is the way in which, when the ball looks as if it's putting pressure on the player, so many of these international players have the capacity to still get a dangerous cross in, really work hard on the ball and explode the ball in some manner, either along the floor or in the air, across that danger area.
Here's Socrates. Casagrande on the left. Could be dangerous. McCreary got to him. Colin Clark has gone down for Northern Ireland, just being helped up by an opponent. Socrates again, and there's a foul on the far side. Jimmy Nicol on Junior. Clark is back on his feet, but Brazil have a free kick in a dangerous position. Position. It went right across the goal from Junior.
Never mind the Brazilian misunderstanding at the back in the air. They'll be wondering what happened there. That was a touch of luck. Let's hope they can find a way of taking advantage of it.
31 minutes gone here in the Jalisco Stadium. Brazil lead Northern Ireland by 1-0, scored on the quarter hour by Careca. Here's Josimar. Stewart. McElroy to Whiteside. Now it's Nicol. McElroy. He's lost possession there, and Careca looks for Casagrande. Alan McDonald going across.
he hasn't got the pace of Muller. I think that's why Muller is preferred to him. It was obvious even in the short time he was there that he had an explosive turn of speed, which Casagrande hasn't got. Thank goodness.
Well, the Irish need every bit of help that's going, as you've said. Here's Nicol. And Junior on that side. And the East German referee has penalised Jimmy Nicol again. Socrates. Alemão to Josimar. Alemão. Josimar. Socrates. And Junior joins the attack, and it fell for Junior. Good save by Jennings, and Casagrande followed up, and somehow it stayed out. Brave goalkeeping by the man celebrating his 41st birthday. He probably kept Northern Ireland in the match there. There were 3 Brazilians pouncing on him. Junior was the man who really came through here. Jennings saved with his left hand and somehow stopped the follow-up from Casagrande. A double save. Oh, and Sammy McIlroy. I was just thinking, Jimmy, it was in that goal that Gordon Banks made that miraculous save from Pele, what, 16 years ago?
Yes, I was too young to remember then, John, but I'll take your word for it. It was remembered all over the world, that save. And when you were talking about Socrates, I think he's equally pleased to be taking part in a game with Pat Jennings in the other goal, because I know he's respected throughout the world for that kind of thing. The first save you'd find in a textbook, the second one was purely Pat Jennings. You wouldn't find it anywhere.
Here's Casagrande. Socrates tries to flick it on for Careca. Given away rather by Clark. Branco. Careca. Alemão. Alemão's shots. Well, it's been an extraordinary career that Pat Jennings has had. He's made several attempts to retire and hasn't finally succeeded yet. Whether he'll do so now or not depends very much on the result of this match. Ian Stewart to Norman Whiteside. Donaghy's gone forward here. This is Julio Cesar Junior. Socrates. And Whiteside flattens Junior. But Brazil still have possession. Branco. Socrates. Elzo. Casagrande. Donaghy's header out. Elzo. Branco. Socrates. John O'Neill. Elzo. Alemão again. Josimar. That's a free kick to Northern Ireland. 35 minutes gone. That's the East German referee, Kirchen. Northern Ireland only met South American opposition in the World Cup finals once before. That was in 1958 when they played Argentina. Here's Donaghy. Stewart. And Julio Cesar, who many of the Brazilians feel is an ungainly looking player, but fairly solid. Whiteside into McIlroy. Whiteside again. McCreary. Clark waiting on the edge of the penalty area. This is Whiteside. Stewart. And Clark's closing in now on the goalkeeper. Carlos looks a better goalkeeper than the somewhat uncertain figure Brazil had 4 years ago in Spain, Perez. But it has to be said again that he hasn't been tested to any great extent in the matches that Brazil have played so far. Here's Adinho. And now it's Branco. Socrates. Elzo, Junior. Socrates now is pushed on ahead on the edge of the penalty area there. Jimmy Nicholl covering. Elzo. Junior. Clark. That's a foul by Adinho. So we've got 8 minutes left in the first half here. Northern Ireland trailing by 1-0 in a match where they have to obtain at least a draw in order to have a hope of qualifying for the second round. Here is Whiteside taking on Alemão. And Whiteside just getting frustrated and gives away the free kick.
You can see the one thing there that stops Norman Whiteside being a magnificent player is that lack of acceleration off the mark. He's an averagely fast runner. If he'd had the pace there, he'd deceive the man and he could have pulled away from him. And sometimes I think that's why he gets into trouble with referees going into tackles, because he's just fractionally late, not because of intention, but because of just that lack of extra acceleration.
Casagrande here for Brazil. Donaghy thought that was an Irish ball, but it's been given to Brazil. Careca, number 9. Socrates is in the centre. Casagrande. This is Alemão. And now Junior. And Junior finds Careca. Good position. Offside. Offside, Casagrande. The linesman who gave that decision was not our own George Courtney. It was Mr. Traoré of Mali.
Just become a member of the Northern Ireland Supporters Club.
Well, I think we're both in that today, Jim, but at this stage in the match, things still going Brazil's way. And this is Stewart. However, Northern Ireland pushing John O'Neill forward again. No change in the other match. This is McIlroy. Whiteside. Spain still leading Algeria by 1-0. That's good news for Northern Ireland. If only they could get a goal here. Casagrande. This is Socrates playing it in, and a good interception by Alan McDonald. There was a whipped cross with 2 forwards coming in. Josimar. Alemão. Adinho finding time to go forward here, and he chips it in to Casagrande. Looks for Careca. And the shot charged down by John O'Neill. And it's Stewart for Northern Ireland. Good little piece of skill, that. But he couldn't shake off Alemão. 5 minutes to go in the first half. Elzo for Brazil. Careca. Casagrande. Junior. Socrates. Elzo. Josimar. Junior. Elzo. Alemão. Top corner, and that was vintage Brazil. The ground explodes as the crowd salutes one of the goals of the World Cup from the 24-year-old fullback from Botafogo, who's making his debut today. Well, 2-0 to Brazil. Clark for Northern Ireland. Stewart. Whiteside's in the middle. There's danger here for Brazil, and Whiteside had a chance immediately, Jimmy, to pull it back to 2-1.
And he should have done better with it, without any question. Great cross there from Stewart, picked him out well, and he really didn't get any power or any direction behind it at all. And that would have, of course, kept Northern Ireland in the game, because the 2-goal disadvantage is making things look very black for them.
So, incident at both ends here in the Jalisco, but the outcome is that Brazil now lead by 2-0 and Northern Ireland's chances are receding. But what the Brazilian supporters will be pleased about is that at last they've seen something which comes out of the South American textbook, a thunderous shot from the right full-back. We've got one in the archives rather like it, I remember, from '78, when Nelinho beat Dino Zoff from that position in the third-place match. And he too was the right-back. This is Alamao. Socrates. Casagrande. Careca's in the centre. Here's Elzo. And that shot hit McDonald, but there was a Brazilian player, I would have thought, in an offside position. I think the linesman flagged and then put it down again, which is a bit unfortunate for Northern Ireland. Socrates to take the corner. Played short. Junior. Branco. Still Branco. Pulls it back, Careca. And now the Irish breaking with Colin Clark. Honestly feel, Jimmy, that Brazil was still mentally celebrating the goal when Whiteside had the chance at the other end.
Yes, it was a positive thrust until that point, which is what is needed so much. When you get a chance, you've got to drive it home. And they did it until the final header, but there you are.
Into the final minute of the first half. And here's Elzo. Socrates. John O'Neill trying to shepherd him away. Branco is forward also. And you can hear the drums beating out their samba rhythm now in the Jalisco as Brazil take the match over. Alamao. Elzo. Casagrande. Socrates is in there too. Jimmy Nicholl trying to get it away. And Whiteside finally does. So, at half-time in Guadalajara, Northern Ireland are trailing by 2-0. The first well taken by Careca, the second superbly struck by Josimar. And the Irish will need all their luck and all their morale to come back from this.